What's good, YouTube? We are back again with another video, and we have a banger for you today, man. I gotta keep it real. Like I'm filming this in my drawers right now. Hopefully you don't see nothing crazy, but I'm bringing out this sneaker. So this is obviously not a review for the sneaker, but there's a reason why I brought this sneaker out, right? So I'm gonna leave this to the side somewhere to show you the box first, right? So this is the Nike NOCTA Hot Step Air Terra, right? We have that for you on the box label. Very crispy. And then we have pink quartz, white, right? Box is pretty dope. So it's kind of looks like a regular box, but this side has a texture to it. If you guys can see it, you may be able to see it, but this side actually glitters in the light, which is super dope actually, right? So you have your NOCTA symbols here, the Poseidon symbols. I don't know what that means. If you guys know more about this symbol, let me know. And then you have the initials AWR. I can only assume that it may be Drake's initials. Again, I don't know. You have CL on this side, Nike check, and then you have NOCTA here, right? So the box kind of fire, big box. It came in an even bigger box. But the shoes, now nobody's really on these right now. So the paper comes in this nice blue, pale blue, right? Double papered. Oh, these are crazy. These are crazy, right? These are crazy. So we have the NOCTA Hot Stepper Quartz, I believe is the actual name of these. So this is the sneaker, man. Right? This is the sneaker. Let me tie it up for you guys so you guys can see how it looks. A little tied up, I guess. So how would this pink look like to me? This is a pinkish slash salmon. Now, not your farm raised salmon. This is your wild caught salmon. That really rich pink, salmon-y kind of look, right? It has a snakeskin feature. It almost has these like scales like you would get on the Kobe, right? We just gave you, just to look at what the Kobe looks like. You have these polyurethane scales. It almost has that same effect. What I really like about these in particular is 3M effect and the color. This is a really nice sneaker. Like, I'll be honest, you guys are passing on these, and that's okay. You guys can buy what you want. But these are kind of fire. These are kind of fire. Like, you rock this casually. You could rock this with tech fleece. You could even rock this with, some jeans and pull off a sweater maybe. Like, I think these are super dope, and it definitely gives you that chunky vibe. That's why I brought the Adidas 700 out, because it kind of gives me that feeling of an Adidas 700 with the really chunky midsole, and we're going to show you a little bit of a comparison on that, right? So here we have the Nike Hot Step Terra, whatever the fuck they want to call it at this point. So you have the snakeskin design, almost looks like a digital camo slash digital snakeskin. That's the vibes I'm pretty much getting at this point. You have a white midsole, gum bottoms are crack, right? I definitely have another pair coming actually, so I can't wait for that pair to come in. And then you have the Nike Classic Air Bubble on the heel. And then you have a zoom unit, right? So this is supposed to be inspired by a lot of different things Nike does. Basketball tech being one of them. So the air unit, zoom unit. In fact, I don't have, a perfect example of an air unit, zoom unit is the Penny 2, right? You have an Air Max unit in the back. It has a zoom unit in the front. So I'm assuming that's the basketball influence on this particular pair of sneakers. I know there was a hiking influence as well, and that's probably where the Terra comes in. I do have a Terra somewhere, old school OG, so that's probably where the gum sole comes in and where the thick traction comes in. And then there was, I believe, another influence from a different sport, but I could take a look at it and just read the description, and maybe I'll just put it in text, right? But then we have 3M hips throughout, so you do have mesh paneling. These panels give me a little bit of a Jordan 12 vibe, which is kind of dope, right? And then you wrap around to the front Really nicely done in this clean salmon pink colorway, right? The laces are 3M. You have little pieces of mesh, like openings or perforations, and that's 3M as well. You may be able to see it with the light, or maybe not. But then you also have the tongue with the NOCTA symbols, right? Really clean. And then on the back, you have G-Tech. I don't know what the G-Tech stands for. I'm not familiar with that as far as Nike's concerned. Maybe it means something else. I have no idea really what it means. You do have a heel counter on the bottom, on the back of the sneaker, and that's probably for locking you in. And then you have the insole that's gray with the NOCTA. Man, these sneakers actually look a lot better in hand than, honestly, I was really thinking. They look better in hand than I've seen in promotional pictures, in advertisements. These just look super clean. You do have the 6 checks on the medial side or the inside of the foot, and that probably represents, you know, the 6 for Toronto. Of course, Drake being from Toronto, a pretty dope feature as well. You do have a Nike symbol here, almost in like a metallic, right? So that's pretty cool. The laces have that 3M with the salmon. Really clean. You do have another Nike check on the lateral side, very small. I love that there's no big swooshes on this. I think that makes it really fun, because from far, you may not know this is a Nike sneaker. I mean, other than maybe seeing the air bubble, and, you know, maybe if you're a sneakerhead, you'd probably be like, oh yeah, I know what those are. But honestly, there's no huge Nike checks, which I like, right? So I say this to say this is the best Yeezy that Adidas has made, which is the 700. Particularly this colorway, I think is the best one. But if you guys look at the midsoles, right, I want to make sure that I'm in frame, right? Those midsoles, man, are very close. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty crazy on just how the thickness of the midsole, first off, the way they're sculpted, the way they're designed. This definitely gives me 700 vibes. Also the same height virtually, right? I mean, come on, right? So when this is Nike, I think, trying to step into this 700 territory. We also have 3M throughout this sneaker. You guys know there's 3M on the stripes here and on this little, you know, tab here. Obviously, the main difference is the uppers. So the uppers on the Yeezy, you're gonna have meshes, suedes, and a little bit of leather around the ankle. But other than that, man, between the 3M, the chunky midsole, and the low cut vibes, really wide sneakers. So if you even take a look at it from this angle, this is a crazy shoe. These are phenomenal. I'm not a big Adidas guy, personally. I think the Ultra Boost may be one of the best sneakers of all time. But other than that, I'm not a huge Adidas guy. I'm not big into the sock Yeezys or the whatever 350s. I thought those were always corny. The 700s is always, to me, the best one, and particularly this pair. There are some other good colorways. The version 2 is really nice. So I say this to say, like, I think this sneaker is just as dope. Now, granted, this sneaker came out many years ago, right? So this came out maybe 17 or 16. I don't know exactly when these came out. So these may be 6 years behind. But as far as like aesthetics, I know a lot of people are going to automatically go to this sneaker. But this sneaker is kind of shitting on it, in my opinion. Maybe shitting on it is the wrong term, but it's a dope ass sneaker, right? So nobody gives a fuck about these right now, which is super crazy to me. I think this sneaker goes way harder than right now the 700, which to me is probably the best Yeezy of all time, right? I mean, you can make the argument this may be the best Yeezy ever, including Nike. Of course, the Nike ones are like fucking treasure hunts and it's super hard to get and all that other stuff. Just putting that to the side for a second, like, this is one of the greatest Yeezys of all time, and I think Drake and Nike and NOCTA did an awesome job on this pair. This pair is much better in hand. Like, honestly, the promo pictures don't do it any justice. So nice that I will get the blue one, because I have the gray one on the way. I will get the blue one now. That's how nice these are to me. That's how dope these are to me. That they made me just buy another pair because I didn't think that they would be this dope. So enough of me chatting. I will eventually do an on feet once my room is situated. I may even do a comparison on feet because I didn't realize how close they look and how similar they are as far as like aesthetic. So that's pretty dope, right? But yeah, this is the NOCTA. I will say I did try this on really quickly, and these are a little bit snug. So if you're one of those dudes, like lengthwise, my toe got right here, but widthwise, it's a little snug, right? And these things have like the tongue attached to the side. So again, I would definitely recommend going up if you're one of those guys that need or ordered sneakers. Like I've always ordered sneakers with extra room. 9.5 is probably my true size in length, but I'm probably a 10.5 in width. I've always gone 10. I went 10 on these because that's just pretty much my size at this point. And again, the width on these are a little snug. I would just say you could probably break it in. You don't even need to lace these. That's how snug these are, right? So you could just keep these loose, keep them, you know, regular, virtually, but you don't even really need to lace them. So that's the only thing I'll say on sizing. But other than that, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a quick comparison. And I don't see too many of these, especially the pink ones, on YouTube at the moment. But these joints is crack. If you guys are skipping out on these because they're not hyped, you're bugging. These are super dope. People are going to be upset that they skipped on these, in my opinion. All right. On that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We outie. Peace.